Hey guys, it's Gwen. Welcome back to Home to Inspire DIY and Decor. Let's get on to my organization video part 2 of organizing my craft space series. Hopefully you were able to watch the first video that I put out, organizing my cubby storage that you see right here. This is the after results. I had changed out all of those storage bins. Now today I wanted to tackle the top of this cubby storage. Now this area here is like the landing area for a lot of like clutter and just things that I want to keep around on hand, and not, necessarily want to like put in any particular place where it might get forgotten. So I do like to place things up here that I use more frequently, and also smaller items that I'm able to easily access. So here I'm just pulling out things that probably shouldn't be up there, like those sandpaper packets or packages, and those Easter decor that I pulled out, the Easter postcards. Sometimes I just sort of stuff things in little corners and things like that when I don't know where to put it. But that is essentially what causes the clutter, right? So here is the first thing I'm going to organize. This is one of those rotating storage caddies that came from Michael's. I've had this for years now, and it served me well. It does hold a lot of things, and here I'm just pulling out all the items that have gotten buried in different parts of this storage unit that shouldn't be there, like this glue. There's some like rub-on transfers, little embellishments for fall, things like that, that sort of got buried to the bottom. And obviously, if you don't see your things, then you're not going to remember that you have them. And this storage caddy is really where I like to store, like I said, frequently used like tools, like bigger scissors or decorative scissors that don't fit onto my pegboard, like those pinking shears right there. I also like to keep like my spackling or putty knife in here because I use that a lot when I am removing adhesive labels from like Dollar Tree items and things like those things that I just showed you. And then I also like to hold markers and pens and writing tools in this container or the storage unit. Sometimes I'll stick like a paintbrush in here if I have like an extra paintbrush that I might have taken out of the package, but I'm not necessarily using yet. So it's just something on standby in case I need to pull one out. I also keep my brayer tool in here. Again, these are all things that are easily accessible to me when I'm in my crafting mode and I'm recording a video. This sits right beside me, like on the shelf right beside my dining table where I craft. So it's very easy to get to. There's also a hook that this caddy comes with, and that's where I like to hang my heating tool. And it works out perfectly because it's really close by to my work area, and I can easily hang it on the hook while it's warm. So here I'm just continuing to dust the area, wipe all my ink pads down. Those are things, again, that I utilize when I'm crafting pretty often, especially when I'm creating like distressed or rustic style decor. So I do like to have those on hand. They didn't really have a specific storage area or anything for those. I just stacked them up in whatever space I can find on top of this cubby storage. So I started to bag up certain things that had packaging, but if the packaging was a little messed up like this, I went ahead and replaced the bag, and that way they would stay organized. These are clickable stamps from Michael's that I use in my DIYs. I really love those things. So all I did was just remove them from the original plastic package and just add them to this little Ziploc storage bag. And again, it's just a way of keeping all your items contained, You can also write on the bag if you want, but I didn't do that just in case I ever changed my mind and decide that I wanted to store them in a different way. I then went on to tackle these little trays that holds pens and markers. And these are just primarily used for storing like my chalkboard markers or Sharpies and maybe some paint markers. These containers are pretty slim and they don't hold a whole lot, but they were just the right size if I wanted to store similar things like all the chalkboard markers, so they're all contained in one spot, easy to find, and any of those metallic style markers and Sharpies. Again, those are just things that I might reach for at any given time. So I just like to have them situated in one location, and that's exactly what I use those trays for. So here I'm just testing out this marker that I've had for quite some time. These are Dollar Tree markers. They're really cool. As you can see, they're metallic, but they have like an outline of a different color. I don't know if you guys ever saw those at Dollar Tree, but I thought they were pretty neat. Since they still work, I went ahead and put them right back into my little tray, and you know, they still have some life in them, so just gonna go ahead and keep those. So again, after organizing and going sifting through all of the pens and markers that were in here that might not work anymore or things that I wasn't using, I just went ahead and tossed those. So we're moving right along to the next thing that I wanted to organize. It's this little box right here, which I made into a stationery or a note card type of situation. I did create this years ago, primarily because I wanted to contain all of like the greeting cards and any type of money envelopes and things like that in one location, just for the ease of finding these when you needed them in a pinch. Sometimes, you know, occasions come up, unexpected birthdays or stuff like that, where you might need a card at the last minute or you need to gift like money. So I thought having this in one location, just contained in a box like this, just made it a lot easier. So if me or any of the kids needed something to a card to give to a friend for a gift or a holiday, then they can easily go to this box and just try to find what they needed. And again, this is one of those things that has served me and my family well because, again, if any one of my kids or my husband needed something like a card, I can just direct them to that box and they can go and sift through it and look for what they needed. So this is pretty ideal, and it's a good idea if you find that you are always needing like last minute cards to give for holidays, occasions, or anything. And sometimes you might forget where you place things, or you don't necessarily have like a certain location that you keep these items, and it just makes it harder to find. I would suggest that you make one of these because, like I said, it's just a lot easier. And also, you can make one for Christmas as well. Like that's probably the time of season or holiday that you probably have the most reason to need a card, a tag, labels or anything like that for. So storage boxes like this, it could be any type of box. This box was actually just from Ross, like many years ago. They came like in different sizes, and I actually bought two, and one of them holds like photo albums. This bigger one holds these note cards. So the other idea I have for this is, if you wanted to do something like this, is to have micro organization. So in here, I added like that little pencil tray and smaller like little containers to put inside. And this just helps with keeping your cards organized and standing upright so that they don't get lost and buried and fall, into the abyss of this box. Because if you try storing like a bunch of random sized greeting cards and things like that, and you don't have like smaller trays inside, there's a greater likelihood that your small items will just get lost among all the other cards. So if you find that you're organizing varying sizes of things, this is a great option. I find it so much easier to find things if you have things organized in this fashion. So again, those are just like random trays that I had on hand. Sometimes we have like an excess amount of like organization containers and whatnot that we might have left over or no longer be using. So sometimes it's good to have those things on hand, because when you are organizing bigger things and you need smaller containers to micro organize, that's when you can go and grab for those smaller containers. And then it, like I said, it just helps to contain everything, makes everything more manageable and a lot easier to find. So I just continued going through these cards. Some of them were old, some I knew I wasn't going to be using, some things didn't have like envelopes to it, or I had too many envelopes that didn't go with cards. So whatever I thought didn't need to be in there, or felt like it wasn't going to be used, I just went ahead and tossed. Okay, now we can move on to the next organizer I have, which is this letter holder. So this is just one of those decorative letter holder, I believe, because I think it's or a mail sorter, if you will. I've had this for a long time as well. I think I thrifted it many years ago, and it's really cute and functional. All I do is just use it to keep like things like these that you're seeing right here. So like little small things that I might want to keep around close by, and have an easier time locating if I needed it. But it got to be too much in here. Initially, I was using it to hold like little paper bags and little decorative storage bags, just in case I needed it for like a DIY or for gift giving. I even kept like labels, like mailing labels, and little stickers, and some vinyls that were pre-made, and just the little things that I wanted to keep around in case I needed to grab for. Like those foil sheets, for instance, sometimes, I need it, and if I stored it in a different place, I might forget that I have it. So sometimes that's why I like to kind of keep this on hand. I also have like poster tack and laminating sheets like these, just in case I need it for like a DIY project. Or let's say someone needed it for something and I can remember that I have it in this location. So I don't know. This is just something that works for me. It's like my own thought process. You know, everyone has their own way of organizing things and making it easier for them to remember where they put things. So that's sort of what I use this mail sorter for. But I did have to remove a lot of things from it because, like I said, it just got to be too excessive in here. And if I found that there were things like the little Ziploc storage bags in there, you know, weren't necessarily being used often, I just went ahead and removed it from that section. But I, you know, like I said, I just, if I keep things there and keep them around where I can actually see them, then there's a better chance of me remembering that I have it, therefore making it easier for me to use. So I did put back some of those pre-made vinyls that I picked up a while ago. Those are like from Target Dollar Spot. So guys, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you guys watch to the very end and look at the final reveal. If you're enjoying this video and have gotten any type of value from it, or at the very least got motivated or inspired to clean up your own craft space or any part of your home, I invite you to join my YouTube family by hitting that subscribe button and turning on your notification bell so that you don't miss out a single upload. I do have another video coming up as part of this series. It's a third part, and I hope that you will join me on that video. Okay, so now that I've organized the three components that make up this storage area right above the Cubby Storage, I went ahead and started to place everything back on. That little pink basket I just decided to use for all my extra glues, like the wood glue and other things that didn't fit or were too heavy for my pegboard area. I also added those clamps that I picked up from Dollar Tree. They're the larger clamps, and just stuck them on the bag or the basket. And I'm going to give you a final look, an overview of the entire area that we organized. So this caddy, as you can see, holds a lot of different things. You might notice a slight change in the overview look that you're seeing right here versus what you see at the end, and that's because I ended up switching things around because some things would just not fit. So as you can see here, I'm just showing you the pegboards from Dollar Tree. This has functioned well for me so far. I have had some problems with it kind of coming off the wall. I did have to reinforce it with some little nails just to make everything stick back on. So it does hold a good amount of stuff in the space that I have. It just holds like my commonly used scissors and adhesives, also little like things like tape, finger protectors, Mod Podge, little bits and pieces of things that I might need on hand. So I like to just sort of store it there if I could, and also my wire cutters. Anyways, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up.